Good morning and welcome to the Marine Mammals Training Center Facebook Live. My name is Michelle and we're coming to you live from the Marine Mammals Training Center today to give you guys some patient updates. We actually are caring for currently 12 seals in-house, so we wanted to run through the different areas of our hospital to give you guys some updates and then also check in on a really special patient that we shared on Facebook earlier today. So this building right here, this is actually our Quonset hut. And in this building, we actually have some enclosures for seals. This is usually the first place that the seals come when they come to the stranding center. So we're going to go into here. And our first patient we're going to introduce you to today is a male gray seal that's stranded in Loveladies on March 21st. He had some respiratory issues. So he's here at the stranding center recovering. Now these tubs are great because we can leave them dry. So we just finished cleaning, so right now they're dry, but in a little while we'll start filling them up with water again so they can get ready for their next feed. And then we're going to come on over here to tub 6. Now this tub 6 is taking a nap, so I'm going to keep my voice nice and quiet. This is a male gray seal from Ocean City. He came up on March 24th and had some little wounds on his body. You can kind of see a little nick there on his back, and he was underweight. So he's taking a nice nap right now since we just finished cleaning. And you're going to notice a theme. We have another gray seal, this time a female gray seal. Now this little lady, she actually came up in Sea Isle City on March 30th. She had lots of little lacerations. You can kind of see one on her front right flipper there. Now the interesting thing is, see how different she looks from those two male gray seals. Female gray seals are mottled in color and have like a platinum gray base color, whereas the males are almost fully solid in color. And our newest patient is actually here for observation. We're not sure yet if he's going to be admitted fully into the hospital yet or not. And you could hear him growling. This is a male gray seal that came up in Maniloking. The reason he's here is he decided to stay on the beach for 2 days in a row. And sometimes when they do that, that might indicate that they're a little too tired or too weak. So he was brought in here for observation, but behaviorally, as you could see, he's very alert and very aggressive, so he might actually be one that gets relocated sooner. So these are our 4 gray seals in our hut area, and we're going to head on over to the pool house building in a second. And as I said, once I got started here, we have 12 seals right now in house. We are at the height of seal season here in New Jersey. It usually occurs for us in late March and early April. Usually around spring break is when we see the most seals and we get the most calls for seals on our beaches here in New Jersey. So we're going to enter the pool house now. And in the pool house, we're actually going to introduce you to a harbor seal. Now, she's at the end of her rehabilitation. This pool right here is the last step in rehabilitation. They come here into this pool after they're done with all their treatments and they've had their final assessment for release. So they come in here for a couple of weeks to start building up those swimming muscles and just really getting physically fit again so that they'll be good for when we release them. This pool is also where they learn how to start diving again and holding their breath for an extended period of time. So this is a really important part. It's like physical therapy for the seals. Now this is a female harbor seal that's stranded in Fortescue back in February. She stranded actually on February 27th with several wounds, and she was very lethargic. So she's been here for a little while now and is ready for release. So we'll be sharing that hopefully in the coming week or so. So she's already been tagged for release. She has a flipper tag on her right rear flipper. So stay tuned on our page and we will definitely be sharing that release for you when it comes. So now we're just gonna close up the gate here so she doesn't wander around the hospital, and we're actually gonna go check out some seals in our pool house pen area. So here is another gray seal. This gray seal stranded in Seaside Park on March 31st, had some wounds, deep wound on his hip, and was underweight. Sorry, it's a female. So she's here in the pool house recovering. Our next stop is again another gray seal. We won't stay here too long because she's peeking out. All right, so that gray seal right there, she also came from Seaside Park on March 25th, and she had a swollen jaw, and she's missing some teeth too, but she's doing pretty well. She's starting to recover. And then again, another quick peek at this one. He's from Surf City. You can go ahead and close that now. He's from Surf City, and he had some lacerations on his hip and on his abdomen. And again, he's doing really well right now. So we're going to head over now to the ICU. So the ICU is our intensive care unit, and this building's pretty cool. It's got, again, seal pens in here. They're all separate. And it functions very much like a human ICU. That means that each of these pens has a separate air system, air ventilation system. So right here in pen A, we have a female gray seal. Now this female gray seal stranded in Seaside Heights on St. Patrick's Day. She had wounds all over her body, lots of scrapes, and her jaw was swollen. So she's doing well now. She's eating pretty well on her own. And as you can see, the ICU is pretty cool because they also have skylights up here, and you can see it's a beautiful day. Our skylights are open, so they get lots of sunlight and lots of fresh air. Our next stop, so now we have a different species to show you guys. This is a harp seal. This is a male harp seal. He's stranded in North Wildwood on March 20th. Now you can tell he looks different. He looks a little similar to that harbor seal that was in the pool, but the big way to tell them apart from harbor seals is you see those spots? It looks like he rolled in little tar balls. So those tar-like spots are one way to tell the difference between the harps and the harbors. Now they're an ice-dwelling seal, and his issue was he was sitting on the beach and he was eating sand. That sounds strange, but that's a very common problem with these harbor seal, or these harp seals rather. They are used to being on snow and ice, so they're used to actually being able to eat the snow and ice for hydration. Now seals get their hydration from the fish that they eat, but harp seals take advantage of the ice and snow as well. So unfortunately, every once in a while, a harp seal will be up here on our sandy beaches in New Jersey, and they will mistake that sand for snow, and it causes gastric impaction. So anytime we have a harp seal that has evidence of eating sand, they are admitted so that we could flush their system. How do we flush their system? We flush them with mineral oil. So we give them fish or tube feed them their formula with mineral oil, and that actually helps get the sand and any rocks out of their digestive tract so it doesn't bind them up. So that's why this harp seal's here and is doing well. He was able to flush the sand from his whole body, and now he's eating very well on his own. We're going to come over here to pen C to show you guys another gray seal, another male gray seal. So like I said, we have a little bit of a theme going here. So this gray seal stranded in Surf City on March 2nd. He's doing really well now. He was underweight and very lethargic, but now he's thriving. And last but not least is the one that everybody's been messaging us about this morning. This is the seal that we shared a special post about today. This is the male gray seal that was entangled. He had an entanglement injury. So I'm going to try to get here so he's blowing bubbles, as you can see. He's quite active, quite aggressive, which is very good. So he's the guy that we found in Sandy Hook. Actually, some callers found him in Sandy Hook. His rescue was quite amazing, because when the caller found him, he was right at the water's edge. He had a 18-inch length of polypropylene line tied around his neck. Now, we don't know if that line was tied before he somehow became entangled, or if it somehow, some way was purposely tied there. So basically we had one of our stranding volunteers local to Sandy Hook immediately dispatched, and she went and sat there basically guarding the seal. The original callers stayed as well, and they guarded him as well to make sure that everyone stayed at least 150 feet away so that he wouldn't be spooked into the water. And then we, of course, rushed down here from Brigantine to Sandy Hook to go get him. And fortunately, when we got there, he was out of the water, but was very active and alert and decided to bolt for it. And when he decided to bolt for it, so did our stranding tech. So our stranding tech basically did a 50-yard dash with the net over her head and was able to outrun the seal before he got in the water. So once we got him back here to the center, we were able to have our veterinarian cut the line away. It left a wound about 1 inch deep all around his neck, but fortunately we were able to get the whole line cut off, and he is on medication, oral and topically, to help prevent infection on that wound, and he already is eating on his own. And as you can see with him growling and blowing bubbles, he is pretty feisty. So we are glad that he's here and no longer has that polypropylene line around his neck. So we just wanted to share with you guys all the patients we are caring for now. Like I said, we've reached our highest number yet this season, 12 seals in the hospital. We do want to thank all of our supporters, all of our followers. You guys are the ones that have been helping us take care of these beautiful animals and help us get them well so that we could return them back into the wild. So we hope that you guys have a great day. We hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to keep following along on our page for future live videos. Take care and have a wonderful day.